Welcome back with another video on TryHackMe.com. This is Zahir Nazir and we are doing CICD build security on the DevSecOps path. So this is the second video on this particular module. So previously we left it on task 2 where we set up everything and everything was working fine. Now we are moving to the task 3 here. So guys, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe and thumbs up and share the video with others, whoever is in the need of learning the DevSecOps, and also help me achieve 1000 subscribers on this channel by the end of August 2024. Thank you for all the support and all the encouragement, and let's get into it. Thanks. Task 3. What is the CICD and build security? Alright. Introduction. Establishing a secure build environment is crucial to safeguarding your software development process against potential threats and vulnerabilities in the light of recent events such as the SolarWinds supply chain attack. If you're following the news, SolarWinds supply chain attack was the big one, and because the SolarWinds customers are global, and there was a whole havoc going around once there was a supply chain attack discovered for SolarWinds. It has become increasingly evident that building a robust security foundation is imperative. Definitely. This task will explore key strategies to create a secure build environment, considering the lessons learned from the SolarWinds use case. Sure. So before we move on, as you can see, we already have 1 hour and 2 minutes left. Everything is working fine. Everything is up. And we can also see that the GitLab TryHackMe.log is working on my local Linux machine, and I'm already connected to the VPN. If you don't know how to do that, I have covered this one in the first video. Just take a look in the playlist. It is 7.1 part or walkthrough. Okay. Fundamentals of CICD. According to GitLab, there are 8 fundamentals of CICD. A single source repository source code management should be used to store all the necessary files and scripts required to build the application, except the secrets, because the secrets should be tackled through local variable or environment variable that we had learned in our 6.2 video previously. Okay. Frequent check-ins to main branch. Frequent check-ins to main branch code updates should be kept smaller and performed more frequently to ensure integration occurs as effectively as possible. This could be a good approach, and this could not be a good approach, depending on your process, basically. So, I mean, generally it is a good idea to do frequent check-ins to the main branch so your code is stable, okay? And that means you are creating multiple check-in points where you revert to. For example, if some malicious code is checked in and you want to go to the previous state, you're already doing multiple check-ins frequently, and that way you can go back to that state very quickly by losing very less amount of the malicious code only. All right, that is the psychology behind it. Automated builds. Build should be automated, executed as updates are being pushed to the branches of the source code storage solution. Self-testing builds. As builds are automated, there should be steps introduced where the outcome of the build is automatically tested for integrity, quality, and security compliance. Excuse me. Frequent iteration. By making frequent commits, conflicts occur less frequently. Yes, that is the goal. What we are trying to achieve. Hence, comments should be kept smaller and made regularly. Yes. Stable testing environments. Code should be tested in an environment that mimics production as closely as possible. Yes. Maximum visibility. Each developer should have access to the latest builds and code to understand and see the changes that have been made. Predictable deployment anytime. Okay, the pipeline should be streamlined to ensure that deployment can be made at any time with almost no risk to production stability. Yeah, this is basically our goal, but Yeah, that's why they put the predictable deployment anytime. Okay, things could go wrong sometimes, so we make sure that our process and pipelines are mature enough that if we deploy it on production, there should be no risk at all. Okay, this is the ideal situation. It may not be there for your environment, but this is what we are trying to achieve. Okay, the ideal state. Well, all of these fundamentals will have to ensure that CI/CD can streamline the DevOps process. None of these really focus on ensuring that the automation does not increase the attack surface or make the pipeline vulnerable to attacks. Okay, a typical CI/CD pipeline. So, what does a typical CI/CD enabled pipeline look like? The network diagram of this room helps a bit to explain this. Let's work through the different components that can be found in this pipeline. Developer workstation, where the coding magic happens. Developer craft and build code. In this network, this is simulated through your attack box. Source code storage solution. This is a central placeholder to store and track different code version. This is the GitLab server found in your network. GitLab server जो है वो जिधर सोर्स कोड स्टोर हम करते हैं वो है. Build orchestrator coordinates and manages the automation of the build and deployment environment. Both GitLab and Jenkins are used as a build servers in this network. Build agents, these machines build, test, and package the code. We are using GitLab runners and Jenkins agent for our build agents environments. I briefly mentioned above, there are typically environments for development, testing, staging, and production live code. The code is built and validated through the stages. In our network, we have dev and production only. So we can take a look. We have GitLab, we have Jenkins, we have JAgent for build agent, and then we have GRunner 1, GRunner 2, and GRunner 3. GRunner 2 is connected to dev and production environment. But this is not the right approach. Why? If you compromise the GRunner 02 with some malicious script, once you are building something for dev, and that mean this compromise GRunner 02 can also be used to, push the code to production, which is containing the malicious code that we put forward in our GitLab, which basically goes to GRunner 02 and then to the dev. Okay, so there is already a security vulnerability I can see. I'm not sure they will let us exploit it or not, but let's see. Okay, let's continue throughout this room. We will explore the CI/CD components in more detail. Show the common security misconfiguration found here. It should be noted that DevOps pipeline with the CI/CD can take many forms depending on the tools used, but the security principle that should be applied remains the same. Sure. SolarWinds case. The SolarWinds breach was a significant cyber attack discovered in December 2020. Attackers compromised SolarWinds software supply chain, injecting a malicious code known as Sunburst into these companies' Orion software updates. The attackers managed to gain unauthorized access to the numerous organizations network, including government agencies and private companies. The breach highlighted the critical importance of securing software supply chains and potential impact of a single compromised vendor on many entities. So SolarWinds compromise हो गया और जो भी SolarWinds यूज कर रहा था वहां से जो है अटैकर जो है managed to gain unauthorized access to numerous organizations, including governments, agencies, and private companies. So I mean, it is best that we need to secure our software supply chains as well. The vendors, okay? एक भी वेंडर फॉर एग्जाम्पल अगर आप 10 वेंडर्स यूज कर रहे हैं और उनमें से एक वेंडर आपका वीक लिंक है, तो उस वीक लिंक की वजह से आपका सारा सिस्टम जो है वो कंप्रोमाइज हो सकता है. We'll use this case as we go through measures we can apply to ensure our build environment is secure. The measures are implementing isolation and segmentation techniques and setting up appropriate access controls and permission to limit unauthorized access. Okay, let's see how we gonna do that. Implement isolation and segmentation techniques. The SolarWinds incident highlighted the significance of isolating and segmenting critical components within the build system. By separating different stages of the build process and employing strict access control, we can mitigate the risk of single compromised component compromising the entire system. Isolation can be achieved through containerization or virtualization technologies, creating secure sandbox to execute build processes without exposing the entire इन्वायरमेंट. कंटेनराइजेशन पे थोड़ा सा मैंने टच किया था प्रीवियस वीडियोस में कि बिल्ड एजेंट कंटेनराइजेशन कंटेनर्स को एज ए बिल्ड एजेंट यूज करना क्यों रिकमेंडेड है, क्योंकि जैसे ही और एज ए इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर एज कोड, फॉर एग्जाम्पल जैसे ही आपने कोई बिल्ड करना है आप एक कंटेनर क्रिएट करें, बिल्ड करें और कंटेनर को डिस्ट्रॉय कर दें. दिस इज द बेस्ट वे टू आइसोलेट एवरीथिंग. पर अगर आप कंटेनराइजेशन नहीं यूज कर रहे, आप वर्चुअल मशीन यूज कर रहे हैं, तो उसके लिए फिर ये है कि डेव के लिए अलहदा से बिल्ड एजेंट और प्रोडक्शन के लिए अलहदा से बिल्ड एजेंट. तो इन केस के आपका डेव जो है डेव पे क्योंकि डेवलपर्स को एक्सेस है, तो अटैक विद इन द कंपनी, attack from within the company could happen. Somebody could check in the malicious source code and try to build it on the same agent that the code is built for production. If that is the case, there could be a compromise, and this was also highlighted in our previous room. Okay, let's continue. Set up appropriate access controls and permissions. पहले हमने देखा कि isolation and segmentation techniques, और दूसरा यह है कि set up appropriate access control and permissions. Limiting unauthorized access to build environment is crucial for maintaining the integrity and security of the system. This is very true. Follow the principle of least privilege. Grant access only to individuals or groups who require it to perform their specific tasks. Okay, implement robust authentication mechanisms such as multi-factor authentication and enforce strong password policies. Additionally, regularly review and update access controls to ensure that access privileges align with the principle of least privileges. Okay, least privilege से मुराद ये है कि जिसको एक्सेस चाहिए और जितनी चाहिए बस उतनी देनी है, इसके अलावा नहीं देनी. फॉर एग्जांपल एक यूजर को एडमिन एक्सेस नहीं चाहिए, उसने सिर्फ व्यू करनी है रिपोर्ट्स टू डू हिज टास्क, तो उसको सिर्फ व्यू रिपोर्ट करने की परमिशन होनी चाहिए. उसको बाकी सारी फॉर एग्जांपल अपडेट और डिलीट और इस तरह की बाकी सारी और मैनेज की परमिशंस नहीं होनी चाहिए. दैट इज द प्रिंसिपल ऑफ रिलीज प्रिविलेजेस. We have touched this one before in our previous room, so I'm going to continue. Implementing strict controls on privileged accounts is essential. Privileged account से मुराद है कि जिनके पास एडमिन एक्सेस है या वो वाले अकाउंट जो कुछ कर सकते हैं. I mean, अगर वो compromise हो जाए तो आपका सिस्टम compromise हो सकता है, तो उनको हम कहते हैं privileged accounts. Okay, including limiting the number of individuals with administrative access and strict monitoring and auditing mechanism for privileged activities. So in this case, a PAM tool could help you. PAM tool basically privileged access management tool होता है जो कि आपको ये सारी चीज़ें ऑटोमेट करने में मदद देता है. A note on network security. Network security is vital in protecting the build system from external threats. Implementing appropriate network segmentation, such as dividing the build environment into separate network zones, can help contain potential breaches and limit lateral movement. Here are few more essential points to consider. Lateral movement से मुराद है कि एक सर्वर को हैक किया और उससे फिर बाकी जो सर्वर्स हैं नेटवर्क के अंदर वहाँ पे जो है हैक करना शुरू कर दिया. फॉर एग्जाम्पल उसने डेव का इन्वायरमेंट हैक किया, और अगर somehow डेव का इन्वायरमेंट is connected to staging environment, तो डेव से स्टेजिंग पे मूव हो जाएगा. और अगर स्टेजिंग इन्वायरमेंट किसी तरह से कनेक्टेड है प्रोडक्शन पे and there is no isolation or segmentation, that means hacker can move laterally in your network. Implement secure communication channels for software updates. Ensure that any third-party components or dependencies are obtained from trusted sources. That is very true. डिपेंडेंसी मैनेजमेंट के लिए हमने पढ़ा भी था कि एक सॉफ्टवेयर है जो कि ये डिपेंडेंसीज आपकी चेक करता है. रेगुलरली मॉनिटर एंड assesses the security of your software suppliers to identify and address potential risk or vulnerabilities. This is very important as well. Supply chain को आपने protect करना ही करना है. Because we are learning from the SolarWinds attack. Learning from incidents such as SolarWinds attack help us recognize the critical importance of securing the entire build process from code development to deployment to safeguard against potential threats and ensure the trustworthiness of your software. Okay. ट्रस्टवर्दीनेस से मुराद है कि फॉर एग्जांपल अगर सॉफ्टवेयर किसी बड़ी कंपनी से आया एंड दे नो दैट दे आर फॉलोइंग द बेस्ट प्रैक्टिसेस एंड बेस्ट सिक्योरिटी प्रैक्टिसेस ऑल्दो SolarWinds वाज अ बिग कंपनी एज वेल एंड स्टिल इट्स अ बिग कंपनी I think Microsoft had purchased it or somebody else had purchased it. लेकिन फिर भी आपने देखना है कि पोटेंशियल थ्रेट्स ना हो उसके अंदर. अगर हैं तो उसके अगेंस्ट सेफगार्ड आपने बनाने हैं और आपने देखना है कि जो आप सॉफ्टवेयर यूज कर रहे हैं वो कितना ट्रस्टवर्दीनेस है. ओके. तो आफ्टर SolarWinds अटैक ऑब्वियसली इस SolarWinds की ट्रस्टवर्दीनेस कम होगी क्योंकि ये अटैक हो गया. दैट मीन दे वर नॉट टेकिंग केयर ऑफ देयर सिक्योरिटी vigilantly. All right. So this is where I mean kind of your reputation. If your reputation is impacted, that means you will lose business, and that means there will be a financial penalty. And depending on the environment, for example, if you are in the US, these kind of attacks and issues, if you did not cover it, you could be sued and you could lose your face, and you can also lose and there could be also a financial penalty as well. We are 16 minutes into the video. Let's continue. What element of CI/CD pipeline coordinates and manages the automation of build and deployment environments? Build agent coordinates build orchestrator करता है. So I'm gonna paste it. Yeah. What element CI/CD pipeline builds, tests, and packages the code? Build agent. Agents or agent. Let's see if they will accept agents. Otherwise, we'll put it agent. Yeah. What fundamental of CI/CD promotes developer in having access to latest build and code in order to understand and see the changes that have been made? What fundamental of CI/CD promotes developer in having access to latest build? I'm not sure. Guys, I'm not sure which one. So these are the fundamental of CI/CD. So it is, I think, maximum visibility. Right, guys? Each developer should have access to the latest build. Okay, so this is what we needed. I'm gonna put it here. Submit, hopefully, yeah. So it is okay. We get to the task 3. Let's move on to the task 4. We still have 12 minutes to go. So let's do that. Okay. Creating your own pipeline. Introduction. Before we explore misconfiguration, it is worthwhile or worth us first creating our very own pipeline so we can play around. Sure. GitLab registration. We'll start process by creating an account on GitLab instance. Navigate to the OK and select registration now. Option on the page, fill in the required details to create your account and register. Remember to select secure password and save it for your journey through this network. Once authenticated, you should be met by this page. Okay, so let's do that, guys. Register now. First name is Zahir Nazir. My username is Scientist Z. My email is try@hackme.com. Password is very easy password. All right, I'm gonna register here. Okay, and what is my role? What is my role? Uh, so my role is basically I'm a um, DevOps engineer. Yeah, get started. And we are on this page. Let me make a little bit zoom in so the text is visible. Because you guys will be viewing it in 4K, so text should be visible to you guys. And the window that is coming over here. We'll start the process by creating an account. We've done that. We are here as well. Feel free to explore the features of the GitLab server. GitLab is quite similar to GitHub. However, it allows you to host your very own server. That is very correct. Project creation. Now that you have an account, the next step is to create a new project. Feel free to create some of your project directly to play around with the feature. However, since we want to play around with the pipeline, so you can make a fork of an existing project that has been created for this purpose. Okay. Click on your work tab, then explore the option and search for basic build. We'll see a project like this. All right, let's do that. This is your work. Search basic build. Uh, so we are here. But there is no project at all. Let me go to the home page. Welcome to new navigation. Okay, create project, create groups, explore public projects. Basic builds, yeah. So once we explore the public project, we get to go with the Ash Android basic build. This is what we wanted, so I'm going to the basic build now. All right, let's continue. You'll see the project like this. Yes, click on the project and then on fork. Here is the fork. Okay, so basically we are taking the project and taking it as a template and creating our own project based on this code and whatever was there. Okay, so let's see if we need to change the project name here. Basic build Anna. They put it right. So we'll create basic builds here. All right, so we can put Zahir here. Yeah, it automatically types it here as well. This is internal or private or public. Let's see, it is private. So we put the private, and once you're done, can create the you can fork the project. This now creates a copy of the project you own and can configure. That is very true. So we'll make it a private, fork the project. Please select a namespace. Yeah, this is our namespace. We selected it is private. We fork the project. I'll click on it. It's private as well. Should not take much time. Yeah, so basic builds here is available here with all the things that we can manage. As you can see, there are a lot of tabs available for us once we created it for ourselves here. And you can see here, this is under my workspace, right? Okay, no longer the other one, the Hinizir and basic builds here. Okay. So far, we are going good. Once done, you can fork the project. This now creates a copy of the project. We have done understanding the CICD configuration. In the GitLab project, automation is defined in the .gitlab-ci.yaml file. This file contains the steps that will be performed automatically when a new commit is made to the repo. Understanding what commands in this file do will import will be important on your journey of learning about build security. Let's take a look at the content of the file. Okay, let's see. Stages. This is the file they opened already. Stages GitLab CI files allow you to define various jobs. Each job has different steps that must be executed as found in the script section of the job. Usually there are 3 stages to any CI pipeline, namely the build, test, and deploy stage. But there can be more. Let's take a look at the build job. So this is the build job. We have build job here, and then we have stage. We named it as build. Script is echo hello and GitLab user login. I think this is the environment variable or something, or just a message. The first line, build job, is the name of the job. The stage value is to tell the GitLab which stage of the CI pipeline this job belongs to, which is build. As mentioned before, this can be build, tested, or deployed. Okay. This is okay. Job in each stage are executed in parallel. Okay, that means all build job will execute simultaneously, as will all test and deploy jobs. Okay, everything is good. All test and deploy jobs. If a job fails, later stages will not start. If a job does not specify a stage, it will automatically be assigned to its test stage. Okay, if you have to change the job order, you can use the needs sections to define the names of the jobs that has to be completed before the next job can be executed. Okay. तो अगर एक जॉब फेल हो गई है तो later stages will not start. Okay, if a job does not specify a stage, it will automatically be assigned to test stage. Okay, if you have to change the job order, you can use the needs section to define the names of the job that have to be completed before the next job. So हमारे लिए build पहले होना है, build successful होगी, उसके बाद test होगा और उसके बाद deployment होगा. तो हम needs वगैरह डालते जाएंगे. I think so. The script portion defines the commands that will be executed as part of the job. As you can see, only an echo command will execute for this build job. However, we normally complete all the build activities in the build stage, such as loading dependencies and compiling our code. Since we are deploying a simple PHP website, there is no reason for code compiling. Okay, we are good enough. We are good. Test jobs are meant to perform tests on the build to ensure everything works as expected. Yes, usually we would execute more than one test job to ensure that you can individually test the portion of the application. If one test job fails, the other test jobs will still continue, allowing you to determine all the issues with the current build. Rather than having to do multiple builds, let's take a look at the 2 test cases. Okay, ये test cases वाली है, which is also coming in the CI. Same file. Test job 1 stage test script echo this job test something. Okay, test dash job 2 stage test. So even if ये पहले वाली job fail हो गया, job 2 will still run because it is on stage test. Script ये है कि echo हम करें this job test something but takes more time than test job 1. After the echo command complete, it runs the sleep command for 20 seconds. Echo which simulates to a test that runs 20 seconds longer than the test job 1. So sleep 20. Okay. Sleep 20 करके ये बताया गया कि ये जो है थोड़ा सा ज़्यादा टाइम लेती है as compared to job 1. और अगर job 1 फेल भी हो जाए तो job 2 जो है वो कंटिन्यू करेगी. Okay. As you can see, we don't have anything test with our simple PHP web application. However, we can simulate that one test case will take longer than the other. Okay. Deployment. In the deployment stage, we want to deploy our application to the relevant environment. If both the build and test stages succeed, usually branches are used in source code repos, with the main branch being the only one that can deploy to production. Other branches will deploy to environments such as dev and UAT. Let's take a look at what we are doing in the deployment job. तो deployment job भी basically same file के अंदर है. deploy prod, stage head deployment, script ये वाला है, echo. This job deploys something from the CI commit branch. ये भी एक environment variable, I think. Branch, echo, making the website directory, make dash p, temp type, time, CICD, echo, copying the website files. CP is the command to copy the file from website underscore source, and then static mint all the files, and then to the folder space, and then the folder where we need to copy the files. It is temp time, CICD, जो कि हमने already make एक डायर की है ऊपर. Echo hosting website using a screen. Okay, screen dash d dash m php आगे dash s capital आगे IP address जो कि self IP address है 127.0.0.1, and then the port number we are hosting it on 8081. And then we are mentioning the temporary directory, and we mention and command, and then we do an echo as well. Echo environment, echo deployment complete, navigate to HTTP localhost 8081 to test. Environment is production. तो ये production environment के लिए script execute होगा. If it is daunting, I mean, if it is too complex for you, it's okay. I mean, we'll do it. I mean, by our hand, we'll go through each line of code, whatever we will do next. Okay. Let's continue. We already on 31 minutes into this video, but it's okay. Let's continue with this task. And if there is any practical, basically we'll stop there and then we'll continue from there. Okay. This is a big task, basically. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to stop here. And once we will come back, we'll start with the runner registration. Okay. Okay then. Let me continue with this, at least this portion of it. And once we come back, we'll continue with the runner registration. Okay. And all the things that we need to do, as I have mentioned here. The first step of the deployment job is to create the new directory under temp. Yeah, I explained that already, where we can place our web application. We then copy the web application files to the directory and alter the permission of the files. I don't see any alteration of the permission of the files. There is no ch mode and anything. Once done, host application making use of PHP. Now we are ready to launch our application. CI files can become a lot more complex, as they are a lot more sections and keywords that you could use. If you want to learn more, you can look here, which is GitLab CI YAML file. Now that we better understand the embedded automation, let's look at actually using it to have the build execute, and we need to register a runner as well. Okay, thank you guys for joining me on this journey, and this is Hinezi signing off. Thank you very much for all the likes and support, and if you have any comment, please put it in the comment section below. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. We are targeting 1000 users by the end of August 2024. Let's see if we'll be able to do it. Thank you guys, and I will see you in the next video.